know ain't no little bit of shrimp. We switching position, we switching locations. I'm hitting this brother in the gym. She said she don't wanna say Gunna no more. She about to start calling me him. I need you making it hot.
Good evening, fans, and welcome to Carver Gym and WECU Court for tonight's game, featuring the Northwest Eagles and your Western Washington Vikings. We're excited to have you here for Native American Heritage Night in Carver Gym. We would like to begin by acknowledging that we gather tonight on the ancestral homelands of the Coast Salish peoples, who have lived in the Salish Sea Basin, throughout the San Juan Islands, and the North Cascades watershed from time immemorial. Please join us in expressing our deepest respect and gratitude for our indigenous neighbors, the Lummi Nation and Nooksack tribe, for their enduring care and protection of our shared lands and waterways. Thank you. Tonight's a special night here in Carver Gym, where Western Athletics is collaborating with Western Washington University, celebrating Native American Heritage Month. At Western is a time of celebration and recognition of our rich cultures and traditions of our Native and Indigenous communities, but also one of learning, reflection, and dialogue. During Native American Heritage Month and every month, WWU is committed to seeking out and encouraging Native histories acknowledged. To begin, purposeful and proactive in our inclusion of Native voices and knowledge, and to discover new ways to inspire and promote a new generation of Native intellectual change agents. In honor of this great celebration, we have a very special group tonight performing. Fans, let's welcome, give them a round of applause, and cheer them on as the Checkswin Club from Ferndale High School will open with some honor songs. And if you'd please rise for the playing of the flood song, which is the Lummi Nation anthem. After this first song, you may be seated. Before we tip off tonight. Let's give a great round of applause to the Chesquin Club from Ferndale High School on their performance tonight to kick off Native American Heritage Night here in Carver Gymnasium. Fantastic job. Thank you for your great performance. To give you a lay of the land here before we tip off, we're going to have 5 minutes on the clock. Teams are going to do a little warm-up, and then we'll get things going. So enjoy the teams warming up on both sides of the half of the court. The band will start playing, and we'll get playing college basketball here shortly. Fans, at this time, please rise if able and remove your caps. Military veterans are welcome to render a hand salute as we hear the Western Washington University Viking Band play our national anthem. It's great to have Viking Band at their first basketball game this season. All right, now let's meet the student athletes for both teams. First, for the visiting Eagles of Northwest University from Kirkland. The starting lineup is announced by head coach Rick Skeen and assistant coaches Adam Lynch. And welcome back, Leif Anderson, Dante Lewis, Chris Edward, Richard Stevens, and Zachary Townsend. The starting five for the Eagles. A 6'5" senior forward from Porterville, California, number 1, Nash Wolbrook. A 6'8" junior forward from Los Angeles, number 2, Tay Aubrey Thomas. A 6'2" junior guard from University Place, number 5, Trent Williams. A 6' senior guard from Edmonds, number 10, Shay Magani Fick. And a 6'5" junior guard from Tracy, California, number 24, Rashid Potter. Fans, those are your Northwest University Eagles. And now let's meet the Western Washington University Vikings. The starting five is announced by head coach Tony Dominguez. Assistants are A.J.L. Britton, Bob Hofstadter, Tavio Jude, and Graham Bonner. And of course, our wonderful manager, Ryder Cunningham. A 6'5" redshirt freshman guard from Seahome High School, number 2, Grant Kepley. A 6'2" freshman guard from Beaverton, Oregon, number 5, Aiden Rice. A 6'6" sophomore forward from London, England, wearing number 20, Lewis Grant Holiday. A 6'8" junior forward from Sacramento, California, number 22, Money Lott. And a 6'4" senior guard from Lorton, Virginia, number 44, Will Wilson. Fans, those are your Western Washington University Vikings.
Hello and welcome into Carver Gymnasium here on Vikings TV. We have a non-conference interdivision matchup between the Western Washington University Vikings and the Northwest University Eagles. My name is Adam Rice. Alongside me, Zen Hill on the call for you tonight on Vikings TV from the WECU Court here in Carver Gymnasium. Zen, what do you make of this matchup here?
Yeah, the Vikings are looking to bounce back from that tough Thursday loss. Of course, you had the half-court heave. It was a heartbreaker. You have Northwest coming in. This is a team that when they match up against Western Washington, it's usually not an even battle, 24-1 all time, but the first meeting since 2011. So we'll see. A lot of uncertainty.
Northwest wins the tip-off, 0-3 to start off their season, an NAIA member of the Cascade Collegiate Conference. Western Washington, of course, out of the GNAC in NCAA Division II, 4-1 after taking their first loss of the season in dramatic fashion on Thursday against Westminster. Looking to bounce back in a big way against a team they have had success against. Northwest trying to find their footing in 2024. They kick it here to Rashid Potter with a three-point try. That's off the mark. Rebounded by the Eagles. Trent Williams got there first. Potter drives in, rejected by Money Lott. Out Northwest ball.
That might be a key for Northwest University in this matchup. If they want a positive, it's they can probably out-rebound these Vikings. We know Western Washington has struggled on the defensive glass, so Northwest University will look to capitalize on that.
Vikings have struggled on defensive glass this season as they did last year as well. Offensive boards have looked good, but right now in the GNAC last in defensive rebounds per game. With the ball now is Tay Aubrey-Thomas, tries to get it down low to Nash Wobrock, but overthrew it. Out, Vikings will take possession for the first time today. Handed off to Aiden Rice. Rice, the true freshman, getting very consistent minutes here due to an early season injury to Vikings star point guard Tijon Sane. Rice, of course, with the fairy tale start to his collegiate career, hitting a game winner against number 12, Cal State Dominguez Hills. They hand it off to Kepley, a redshirt freshman. He drives to the glass, too strong on the lay-in attempt. A rebound falls in the hands of Lott. Battling for it with Lott is Potter, and I believe that's going to be a jump ball. It will be. Vikings have the possession arrow.
Now, the Vikings might struggle on the defensive glass, but something this season they have done well is pick up offensive rebounds in the GNAC. They're a top half of the table as far as grabbing offensive glass, and we see them extending their possession there. That time, Money Lott able to get it off of a deflection from one of the Eagles.
Lott, the third leading rebounder on the Vikings so far this season, trailing only Grant Kepley and Louis Grant Halliday. Lott drives in himself, right-handed layup, up and in. 2-0 Vikings. Opening up the score is the transfer junior out of Sacramento. Northwest looking for their first bucket of the night. They have it in the hands of Trent Williams, now to Tay Aubrey-Thomas. Back to Wobrock, defended by Grant Halliday. Has been an excellent defensive presence so far this season. Potter drives around him, can't get the layup to go around Lott, rebounded by Aubrey-Thomas, and he's fouled as he goes up. Northwest, a team that does a lot of their scoring on the interior, don't take a whole lot of three-pointers, and they go to the line often. They're averaging 23 free throw attempts per game through their first 3 games of 2024-25.
And although they get there, they haven't been relatively efficient when they do get there as a team on the season. 40% from the free throw line.
Aubrey-Thomas at the line right now. With that miss, he is now 9 for 20 from the free throw line. He goes to the stripe more than any other Eagle, and got to get those numbers up. Misses the first, trying to pick up the second for the first points of the night for the visitors. He can. 2-1 now. Vikings get it off to Kepley. Kepley, a player who's played just about every single minute of this season. Over 35 minutes a game for the redshirt freshman as Lott pulls up with a long 2-point try. Aubrey-Thomas pulls down the rebound. Lott, a player who has proven his ability to shoot the jumper at the JUCO level, but still trying to find that consistency as a Viking, as the handoff to Aubrey-Thomas tried to throw it down over Lott. Initially blocked, but picked up his own rebound and put it in. And Northwest has their first lead of the game, 3-2.
Looks like they're already going to try and go down low with Aubrey-Thomas. I mean, he's got that 276-8 frame. That's what you would expect with the size that he has. Plays advantage against the much smaller, although tall, Money Lott.
Lott going right back at him. Layup is too strong, and it's going to be Northwest foul. A push in the back of Lott.
It's been a big man battle so far. Lott and both Aubrey-Thomas getting most of the shots, and now we get our big man to the line.
Sean Lott shooting the first of 2. Off the mark on the first one. He has had some troubles from the free throw stripe so far this season. Season high 19 points against Azusa Pacific, leads the team in blocks per game, but offensively when it looks at field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage, trying to improve those numbers to a similar spot that he saw at the JUCO level, where he was putting up a double-double every game, as that is going to be a blocking foul called against Grant Kepley, who goes to the floor for the first of many times tonight. Drawing the foul was Nash Wobrock, the senior out of Porterville, California. Fresno City Community College transfer. As you see there, Kepley didn't get set. Inbounded straight back to Wobrock. Now they get it in the hands of McGowie Fick. Williams at the free throw line, back to McGowie Fick. Potter guarded by Will Wilson, works around a big screen, pulls up for 3, can't hit it. Another offensive board taken down by Aubrey-Thomas, but this time a whistle is going to give the Vikings back the ball. A push on that rebound attempt by Tay Aubrey-Thomas, who is bullying the Vikings in the paint right now. We've seen a few times this season the Vikings have been susceptible to paint scorers putting up big numbers on the offensive boards as well as in scoring.
Yeah, and unfortunately that's going to be his second personal foul, forcing him out of the game. They're going to miss him because the Eagles already seeming like they have a good thing going, but now 2 personal fouls early on, and they have to bring in the sub.
Aiden Rice passed it off to Grant Halliday. Shovel to Will Wilson, one-on-one with Wobrock. And now back to Lott, pulls up for 3 yet again, and this time it's off the mark. A lot of these shots early on have come through Dejan Lott. Vikings still sitting at just 3 points. Williams driving all the way himself, lost the handle, picked up by Wilson. Running transition to his right is Aiden Rice, but he lays it in. 5-3 Vikings.
That's going to be a key for Western Washington. Northwest turns the ball over a lot. Western Washington has to turn those turnovers into points on the other side, and we saw it there with Grant Halliday.
Northwest on a tough run right now as a program, as you see Wobrock there driving in. Nice little layup, right to left, gets it to go, ties it up at 5. 0-3 this season are the Eagles, 8-21 last year, the Cascade Collegiate Conference. This is a team that has struggled defensively, allowed 86 points per game last year, and allowing 80 points per game so far this season, as Lott is going to get fouled there by the backup center, Micah Hagan.
Last season, Northwest snuck into the conference tournament surprisingly after just the 7-15 record, but hopefully this year trying to get an improve on that record and end up also in the tournament, not as the 8th though.
We're going to go to our first media timeout of the game here, knotted up at 5 apiece when we return.
Original, never compromise. Nobody can mess with my copyright. Make it look easy, you don't have to try it. Go and get it. Go and get it.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Welcome you back here to Carver Gym as we look at the transition lay by Grant Halliday on a nice no-look dish by Will Wilson. Wilson and Grant Halliday having excellent starts to their seasons in 24-25. Will Wilson, second leading scorer on the Vikings last year, behind only Kai Johnson, who was one of the leading scorers in the nation. Grant Halliday, who played a 6th-man role last year, what a breakout season he is having. So far this year through 5 games, he's putting up 13 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, a couple of steals per game. He's doing a little bit of everything and has really grown into a crucial part of this lineup.
Yeah, 6'6" frame. He's a guy that can do it all, kind of defend 1 through 5. Tony Dominguez loves to have him out there. I know we saw the flashes last season, and it's been really awesome to see Grant Halliday now in a more expanded role. He's been flourishing, of course. You mentioned GNAC Player of the Week.
GNAC Player of the Week indeed, after some really good performances on the road down in California. The Vikings picking up a couple of wins against San Marcos and Azusa Pacific. Dejan Lott is able to hit both his free throws this time to the line. He's got 5 of the 7 Vikings points. He's taken 3 of their 5 shots from the floor.
He only had 5 points on Thursday.
Season high 19 against Azusa Pacific, trying to break out of that tough shooting night on Thursday. Wobrock guarded by Grant Halliday. Tough layup, can't get it to go. Another offensive board for the Eagles, and it's put in by Hagan. Micah Hagan, the sophomore out of Tampa, Florida, getting on the board. Vikings have got to clean up on the defensive boards a little more efficiently here. Lott into Will Wilson, driving in himself. Double clutch, and it's a putback that's missed by Grant Halliday off the initial miss, and Dejan Lott let it go out. Thought it went off an Eagle. Referee says it went off of him. It's going to be Northwest ball as we're going to see some substitutions here for the Vikings. Trevor White's going to check in, as well as Garrett Levesque. A couple of the many new additions to this Vikings roster, both of which have been very welcome additions. Trevor White has been an excellent off-the-bench scoring option, and Levesque has been able to contribute offensively and defensively. Williams pass it off to Wobrock. He got bailed out by a call there. That was way over the head of Hagan, but he was held, so it will be Northwest ball. 3rd foul on the Vikings.
And going back to what you were saying about Garrett Levesque, Thursday had 9 points, 4 steals, also grabbed 2 rebounds. Unfortunately, fouled out in the game, and it looked like Tony Dominguez was going to utilize him down to the wire, but the 5th foul ended up forcing him out of the contest early against Westminster.
That was a tough 5th foul to take. To put those 4 steals in perspective, he had 4 steals his entire collegiate career leading up to that game. 2 as a Viking, 1 at Tarleton State, and 1 at UTEP. Gets his hands on that one, but loses it. And it goes back to Western Washington transition, and 1. Garrett Levesque straight off the bench onto the score sheet, disrupts a pass, runs a transition, and gets the and 1 to go. Right on cue.
Came to Western Washington with 2 years of eligibility left. He's going to be a big piece, hopefully, for those next 2 years to come. We've already seen him off the bench, and at times maybe finding that 6-man role that we saw the flashes of Lewis Grant Holiday in last year.
Grant Holiday, who was really one of the best, most efficient 6 men in the GNAC last season. An excellent defender and a big energy guy, and it's great to have that energy on the floor for 30-plus minutes a night. Eagles with some substitutions. Onto the floor is Ethan Martin as well as Dominic Wilson. Wilson, who lost the handle, picks it back up. Surrounded by a few white shirts, but hands it back to Martin. Martin, the Arlington, Washington native, Everett Community College transfer. 5 on the shot clock. Pass it off. Corner 3-pointer for Wilson is off the mark. Shot clock will expire as he was not able to draw iron. So that'll go down as a shot clock violation and a turnover against the Eagles, their 4th of the game. We talked about the turnover troubles that they had coming into this game. Lost against Montana Tech, Montana Western, and Seattle U. As White finds a little space to drive in, got right around Micah Hagan. The turn was too quick for the sophomore to react to, and White cashes in his first bucket of the night. Martin, guarded by Kepley, works around a screen, passes it off, and now in the corner to Potter, deflected out. Once again, Levesque, quick hand, sends it out.
Eagles lost to Seattle University 80-52. They had 24 turnovers, and we're already seeing Western Washington in the lanes and forcing those turnovers early against the Eagles.
Eagles were only down by 8 points at the half to Division I opponent Seattle U, but a lot of fouls and a lot of turnovers got them in trouble in the second half. Williams drives in, shovels it into the corner. 3-pointer is off the mark from Potter, as the Northwest University Eagles are having trouble shooting it right now. 3 of 11, 0 of 4 from 3. Grant Halliday on the other end, straight to the hoop, lays it in.
Thursday, he might have settled for that 3-point shot, but this time tonight, he's found a way to the cup, and he's able to finish there strong for Western.
Vikings had a shaky start on the interior, but they're finding their stride offensively and forcing the Eagles to some more outside shots as once again they try to get it into the paint and lose it out of the hands of Aubrey Thomas. Out Vikings ball.
It's another turnover on the Eagles.
That'll make it 5 here with 7 minutes gone in the first half. Eagles are yet to lose a game this year by less than 19 points. And a lot of the matchups between these two teams over the years, there have been a lot, have not been all that close. Grant Kepley from the free throw line. Pull-up J is good over the big Aubrey Thomas.
15 points on Thursday. He led the Vikings against Westminster, but he only had 2 points in the second half. Vikings need to keep him consistently involved in this offense if they want to have another good performance by him and lead to a win.
He's consistently involved on the floor, playing about just every minute, but when he has shot, it's been very efficient as Aubrey Thomas is fouled. Kepley didn't react to that at the right time. Went up as Aubrey Thomas faked the shot, draws the foul, goes to the line, but we have talked about his free throw struggles.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not a bad foul. You have the much larger size advantage inside. We've already seen him at the free throw line. They've done the scouting. They know he struggles at times, so why not make him prove it?
Still under 50% from the line this year. 1 of 2 tonight. Make that 2 of 3.
Interesting player in Aubrey Thomas. Most recent stats on his career is at Cal Poly Pomona back in 2022, where he averaged just under 6 points per game and over 5 rebounds per game.
Big physical presence who has found success at the NAIA level, the leading rebounder for the Eagles, as well as one of their leading scorers. It's a team that likes to work through the interior offensively. Doesn't take a whole lot of threes and hasn't hit a whole lot of threes over the last couple of years. Rice to Kepley. Inside Grant Halliday. Good ball movement here by the Vikings. Back to Grant Halliday. Fakes a three-pointer and drives it in. Falling down, he traveled. Excuse me, there's going to be an overturned call here. There's going to be a foul. They're going to say that he was pushed to the ground by Rasheed Potter before he traveled. So Vikings will retain possession on the personal foul. Will Wilson checking back in for Kepley. One of the rare times tonight that we might see Kepley get a decent amount of time on the bench in interdivision play. The trust that has been put in him by this Vikings coaching staff is really incredible for a redshirt freshman, and he has delivered as they kick it out to Trevor White for three. Too strong, rebounded by Levesque. Puts up and goes for nothing but air. And it's rebounded by Aubrey Thomas out of the hands of White. Lead pass is a little too strong, but kept in bounds for the Eagles, controlled by Philip Muguza. Muguza, the Slovenian, passed it off. A open three for Dominic Wilson, draws nothing but air, kept in bounds, and Wilson picks it up off a good effort by Potter. Vikings have been giving up offensive board after offensive board, as that travel will finally give the Vikings back possession. And that will lead to our second media timeout of the first half here. 15-9 Vikings, a 6-point lead when we return here on Vikings TV.
Original, never compromise. Nobody can mess with my copyright. Make it look easy, I don't have to try that. Go and get it. Go and get it.
Vikings leading the Eagles by 6 points here, 15-9. 11 minutes, 22 seconds left in the first half here from Carver Gymnasium. This has been a back and forth game in sort of the wrong way. A lot of turnovers for Northwest and a lot of offensive boards as well for the Eagles. Really the kind of game that neither coach is going to be too happy about through the first 8 minutes.
Yeah, right now I would say the Eagles have been getting the better looks on offense. They haven't converted them. If their shots start to fall, they could maybe find themselves in a closer match here against the Vikings, or maybe even take the lead against the favored Vikings, you would say, in this contest.
Northwest just 3 of 12 from the field. Will Wilson, who has been one of the hottest scorers in the GNAC since coming in last season, taking it himself and kicking it to Levesque. Wing three is too strong. And that came off of Northwest in the end. So Vikings will take it back with 20 on the shot clock. Trevor White trying to wrestle for some space. They go back out to Aiden Rice instead. Freshman out of Beaverton, Oregon. Trying to find a way to the hoop. Good lay-in. That's an impressive take there by the 6'2" Aiden Rice. Not the biggest player out there, but plays with tenacity. Is an energetic defender and has been a really pleasant surprise here as a true freshman for the Vikings. Defensively matched up here with sophomore Ethan Martin. Martin has the shot clock down at 10 seconds here, switched onto by White. Around White, Aubrey Thomas can't get the flush to go. They pass it back into him. Gets White in the air and gets the lay-in.
He's tried a couple of highlight plays, but the only ones that have worked are the actual layups that he takes, and we see him finish there with not as flashy of a finish, but still gets the bucket.
Breaks up a 2-minute scoreless run for the Eagles. Deficit is just 6 here. White to Grant Halliday in the corner. Thought about it, 3, and he traveled.
Yeah, he had that call against him on Thursday as well. Grant Halliday just has to put the ball down before he picks up that back foot. Something that he needs to work on. He'll turn it over.
Vikings do have a negative turnover margin this season overall. They have been causing steals for opponents. And when you look at that road trip down to California, they were getting a lot of steals and really able to control games through those. As Aubrey Thomas going to work on the smaller Will Wilson. Can't get the lay-in to go. The putback by Potter is off the mark as Trevor White somehow finally comes out with it. They continue to run it through Aubrey Thomas. He has now 5 shots on the game. Long three-pointer is good. Will Wilson gets his first tray of the night.
We've seen a lot of Will Wilson this season, driving to the basket, shooting fadeaway mid-ranges, finishing hard. But when he's knocking down the 3-ball, he turns into a whole nother asset for Western.
Top 5 in three-point percentage last season as a newcomer. Transferred from Mount Hood Community College. What an addition he has been as one of the best and most diverse scorers in the conference. A 3-level scorer. He can get it done in a lot of ways. Now he's defensively matched up with Dominic Wilson as Wilson is stripped, taken away by White, and a jump ball is called. Possession arrow for the Eagles.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Western Washington, but that's just a great hustle play by the Eagles to not give up on that possession after getting blocked, getting it right back, taking away what would have been potentially a Vikings easy transition bucket.
It was White who got the half block, half steal, and had it taken right back on the jump ball. Six turnovers for the Eagles, but just 2 steals for Western Washington, and it's been a lot of self-inflicted injury.
Yeah, a lot of throws out of bounds, a lot of giving up easy possessions, dribbling it off the foot, stuff like that.
McGowie Fick throwing it away for a second, but Potter is able to recover. Somehow found his way through everybody on the court. Lagoza pulls up from distance and answers Will Wilson's 3 with one of his own, the first tray of the night for Northwest.
Magosa, a player to watch, 8, 10, and 9 in the 3 games that have counted.
Layup is missed by Trevor White on a running floater, but he gets his own board and puts it in. White's second bucket of the night. He's got 4 points and already has 4 rebounds. Leads all players. Tied with Potter. Wobrock. Pass it back into the corner. Once again, it's Magoza. This time he can't find the bottom of the net. Rebounded by Potter. 9th offensive rebound for the Eagles, as that is going to go the other way.
That's just another instance of an Eagles turnover that isn't necessarily Western forced. We've had travels. Now the illegal screen gives it back to Western Washington. Eagles need to clean this up if they want to hang with the Vikings.
It's an offensive foul on Wobrock, his first of the night. Also goes down as his first turnover. White off to Wilson. They stay hot after the 3-pointer. Driving in this time. Fancy pass finds Rice in the corner, but he doesn't have space to shoot. 10 on the shot clock for Rice, driving in. Forced to lose the dribble, gets it off to White. 5 to shoot. Running away as he gets the lay-in to go. A good bounce there for Trevor White off the soft rim at the far end of the court. He's now 3 for 5 and leads Vikings scores with 6. As that will lead us to a timeout here. Immediate timeout as the Vikings have opened up a 10-point lead now. We'll be right back from Vikings TV.
The legacy began in 1973. That was the year NCAA Division II was born. And since the very first day, our division has shaped generations of student athletes with a true sense of academics, athletics, and community. That is 5 decades of graduations, championships, teamwork, and personal development. 50 years of shaping student athletes into world-class leaders. NCAA Division II. Our division, our legacy.
Western Washington have their biggest lead of the night at 10 points, 24-14 here on Native American Heritage Night in Carver Gymnasium. Good crowd on hand for this interdivision matchup. The Vikings have 2 interdivision matchups in the next few days. They'll be taking on Douglas College on Tuesday. One of the many Canadian schools that make the trek down to Bellingham, Washington to take on the Vikings every year. A couple new players on the court for Western Washington, seeing Jordan Tate getting his first minutes of the game here. Tate, who has made cameo appearances in 4 games this season, yet to record a point on 3 shots. Wobrock, guarded by Levesque. Levesque's had active hands all night. It's been tough to get around, and that time it's taken away by Aiden Rice. Rice quickly up the floor, lobs it up to Trevor White. White, one-on-one down to the paint, gets it to go. A whistle.
Looks like it's just going to be for the stoppage down here. We have an Eagles shaken up, I believe. Had some contact during the whole change of possession.
Nash Wobrock.
Wobrock might have ran into Garrett Levesque as we were having the Vikings turn things into offense. Seemed to just get maybe a shoulder to the head, ended up on the other side of the floor down.
Wobrock, a senior and a leader on this team, leads the team in steals, their 3rd leading scorer. A tough player to lose as he's a little shaken up here. We'll see if he stays on the court or not. We'll take a quick recess as he collects himself. Western Washington here, they lead by 12, a game that, of course, they're expected to win against an NAIA opponent. But on the boards, it has been all Northwest. 13-8 is the rebounding advantage for Northwest. 9 offensive rebounds to the Vikings' 5, and a lot of their points have come on those extended possessions that just keep getting extended by offensive rebound after offensive rebound. Western Washington, on the other hand, they have gotten 20 of their 26 points in the paint. They're using the size of players like Will Wilson, like Trevor White, and DeJean Lott to get down inside and put it into the basket. And Northwest, this is a team that also likes to play on the interior. So 2 teams trying to play in similar fashions. Vikings, the small advantage right now.
And referees here are going to check to see if there's anything extra here. I believe it's just a basic collision. On this replay, you'll see it. And he actually just collided with Jordan Tate, it was, in the arm of him. Nothing over the top there. No technical foul or flagrant that should be assessed for that. If you're Western Washington, in these non-conference games, you really have to figure out what our offensive identity is going to be this season. Western looked a little bit sloppy against Westminster on Thursday. They're trying to get back on track here against, of course, the opponent that they are favored against. But for Western Washington tonight, just a 12-point lead, maybe something that you want to extend on against this team that you feel like you are that much better than. Western Washington just needs to figure out what they are going to do on offense. They need to figure out who they're going to run it through, who's going to be their stars. Right now we're seeing these strong players go to the basket, and that's been our identity. And if that's what it is, buy into that. Just be a team that takes it to the basket, gets the offensive rebounds, and kicks it out for 3. Western just has to commit to an identity on offense this season.
Vikings have the talent on offense, and they have seen the production. Their 49% field goal percentage leads the GNAC, also shooting 37% from 3. Also on top of the GNAC, but we did see the cracks form against Westminster. That was their lowest scoring game of the season, as a turnover here by the Eagles. Hands it off to Aiden Rice, gets it around the hand of Potter and lays it in. His 2nd bucket of the night. Another nice take for Aiden Rice.
Yeah, 2 tough baskets straight to the cup, finishing. Aiden Rice, what a job to step into a role without Tijan Sane, who we thought was going to be one of the leaders of this Vikings offense. Rice has filled his role in the perfect way this season.
Rice has 4 points now with 3 assists and a steal, as a good layup on the other end is put in by Trent Williams.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal job to shift mid-air and still finish that layup. Tough takes by each side.
Vikings give it off to White, driving in, has a lane to the basket, but he's rejected by Manuel Crujeras. And rejected on the other end by Aiden Rice, the point guard, getting up and sending it back. Running the transition. That one is kicked up onto the walkway. I have never seen a ball go up there off a kickball.
Well, it stopped the transition, so.
Yeah, it worked. It did its job. Let's look again at this rejection by Aiden Rice. How about the hang time, getting up, sending it back off the attempt by McGowie Fick. Player won't pick up a whole lot of blocks, but you're seeing the range of defensive ability that he brings. 12-point lead for Western Washington. 6 minutes left here in the first half. Rice has the hot hand. He gets space again, and he gets the and 1.
Oh, man, he's got to be feeling himself. Having a couple of tough baskets, gets the and 1 right after his block play. Aiden Rice, what a job. This freshman came in, was a walk-on preferred. He's not technically even on scholarship for the Vikings, but he's making an impact as a starter for this squad.
He's a player who averaged 20 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists for Beaverton High School down in Oregon in the 6A division. Led the Beavers to a state semifinal. He's struggled in the plus-minus category this season. His season high is 32 minutes. His season high in points is just 9, and he's well on pace to break that as he's got 7 already tonight. Corner 3 for Northwest is cashed in by Ethan Martin. Second three-pointer of the night for the Eagles. They're now 2 of 8. Rice with it again. He's going to take it all the way himself, and this time can't find a lane. It's rebounded, though, by Levesque. Back to Jordan Tate. That one was deflected. A scramble underneath the basket. It's going to end up Viking ball on the baseline.
That possession all started with another tough Aiden Rice take to the basket. If he's getting his confidence up to just be able to get to the hoop, force those jump shots up as well on the outside, he's going to be a great player. I mean, it can be hard. Freshmen coming in, you have all these transfers that have played X amount of years of collegiate basketball. You're here straight out of high school. It takes a minute to get that confidence.
Dejan Lott, easy as you like, dances in and puts it in. And Aiden Rice on these last few possessions has looked a lot like the player he's filling in for, Tijon Sane, with that confidence to drive in. Passes around into Hagan, working on the smaller Rice, can't get it to go. Dejan Lott has it now. Lott, who put up a good amount of the Vikings' first shots this game. He's been more quiet since then, and he's blocked there on his attempt, trying to get back-to-back buckets. Handed off to Grant Halliday, 15 on the shot clock. Levesque, a lot of space for the 3, and he doesn't get it to go. The high bounce goes off the shot clock. So that will be a team offensive or defensive rebound, excuse me, for Northwest. Look again at this take by Dejan Lott, using that ridiculous wingspan that he has to just reach it around Micah Hagan.
He's got 7 points now tonight in this first half.
Rice matching up here with Ethan Martin. Martin takes it all the way in. A blow by, he gets it to go over the reach of Lott and beyond Aiden Rice.
Transfer from Everett Community College as Ethan Martin averaged over 14 points per game last season.
He's 2 for 2 tonight as Grant Halliday cashes in a 3.
Grant Halliday was 0 for 3 on Thursday from behind the arc. Knocks in that one.
It's a weapon that we know that he has, and it helps the Vikings so much when he's able to hit those, as that's going to be deflected off of Aiden Rice and out. Got the hand in, but it'll just be a baseline inbound for Northwest. Look again at this quick pull-up by Grant Halliday. He's 3 for 3 to start out tonight, 7 points. Vikings once again spreading out the scoring. This is a team with 4 players averaging double-digit scoring, and right now Trevor White, the team leader, at 8 points so far tonight, but 3 other players at 7. Inbounded to the corner, taken by Philip Magoza. He's got a 3 tonight, hands this one off to Martin, though. Back-to-back 3s for Martin.
Ethan Martin was a former member of the GNAC when he began his collegiate career at Alaska Fairbanks. Was a freshman, did not see any action. That's why he went to Everett Community College, and now here with the Eagles.
Putting in a quality shift here in the first half as Grant Halliday goes to ground, and they're going to say he traveled. He wanted a foul and didn't get it. Clamped up there by Trent Williams. As that will lead us to our next media timeout. Vikings 12-point lead, 36-24 when we return on Vikings TV.
Original, never compromise. Nobody can mess with my copyright. Make it look easy, you don't have to try that. Go and get it. Go and get it.
The Teaching and Learning Academy is an organization that's housed in the library, and it's where people come to have conversations.
They deal with serious issues that have emotional impact in ways that are typically not found in a class.
We've talked about diversity and inclusivity on our campus and in our community.
It not only enriches my education, but also impacts the ways that I can continue my leadership roles.
Viking band in attendance, men's basketball here. Good to have the band back out, the energy flowing here in Carver Gymnasium. Really good attendance here for this Saturday night game. A few games in the next few days for Western Washington basketball. Of course, the game on Thursday against Westminster, on Tuesday against Douglas College. And the following week, as we see the Western Washington women opening up their play in GNAC, a big rematch against Montana State University Billings, a rivalry matchup against Seattle Pacific, a lot on the horizon for Viking basketball to be excited about.
Yeah, early conference games, nothing's wrong with that. Little conference play in December, why not?
Absolutely. We restart here. The Vikings still holding a 12-point lead, one they haven't been able to build on. Williams off a good defensive stop has it, pass it off to Ethan Martin, has the hot hand shooting it, this time drives in, can't get the layup to go. Dejan Lott battling for the rebound, kept in. White gets it ahead to Grant Halliday, running the transition back to Aiden Rice now. Behind the back pass in the corner, Wilson, no. Strong on the three-point attempt. That would have been a flashy highlight.
Would have been nice, but they don't get it. Will Wilson can't get the three-pointer in, and man, it robs that behind-the-back pass from Rice. It was a little low on the behind-the-back pass, so maybe if it's at the chest, Wilson makes that shot. Western's going to keep the ball, though, on their side.
It gave Wilson space to shoot the three at least, but not to be that time. Wilson now 1 for 2 from three-point range. White was fouled as he picked up the rebound and went up. He will go to the line.
Trevor White, not a ton of free throws this season, just 3 for 6.
It's the first of the 1-and-1 as the Vikings are now in the bonus. We talked about Northwest getting in foul trouble in their previous games this season. It is early on in the first half. Gotten to them with 3 minutes left here. Free throws were a big reason Seattle U were able to pull away in the last game Northwest played. They committed 33 personal fouls in total against the Red Hawks in Seattle. Little paint floater there by Dominic Wilson is good. Hook shot over the larger defender works to a treat. Rice steps in and pulls it back. Step back three-point attempt. Yes, he is feeling himself right now.
Just the confidence looks way higher than it did on Thursday. He passed up a couple open three-pointers against Westminster. You wanted him to take those. We're seeing that tonight. It's awesome.
He's the first scorer in double digits. That is a new career high 10 points for him here with a lot of basketball left to play. Williams trying to go straight the other way and answer. Does do on a floater.
Trent Williams, 5.5 points per game in 10 starts. Also came off the bench for the Eagles last season.
Back to Rice, heat check, doesn't get that one. Rebounded by Grant Halliday, put back is good. Vikings have more than caught up right now on the boards. They've tied things up 15-15 in the rebound battle, and they now lead the Eagles in offensive rebounds. Grant Halliday there, picking up his first board of the night. As it's going to be a carry or a double dribble, and it's going to be a turnover again against Northwest. That time the call going against Dominic Wilson. He's not happy about it. Turnover number 10.
It's not something you usually see at this level of basketball. I had to double check that they were signaling a double dribble.
It is often something that they let slide. As Lott just reaching up and seemingly from outside of the paint laying that one in. Lott, who only stands at 6'8", but the wingspan just ridiculous. His hands down at his knees. Pass it off to Aubrey Thomas. Vikings have done a good job shutting him down after a good start to the game. And he's going to go back to the line to shoot 2. He's 3 for 4 from the foul line so far tonight. This will be his 3rd trip. Vikings having trouble defending him without fouling in the paint. As Lott did reach in there and get the rejection, but Grant Halliday committed the foul on the floor as he went up.
Free throws can play a key in any matchup. It was one of the things that kept Western Washington in that game on Thursday against the Griffins. Vikings had 10 free throws made of 16 attempts.
Aubrey Thomas leaves the first one way short. Lucky to catch iron on that attempt.
He went 2 for 2 last time. Was proving us wrong.
Potter checks back into the game for the Eagles. Potter, one of the leading scorers this season for Northwest, but has not had a good start here today. He is 0 for 6. Dejan Lott will go to the bench, replaced by Garrett Levesque. Lott on 9 points right now, 3 of 6 shooting. Aubrey Thomas trying to make amends for that first free throw attempt. This time he puts too much on it, rebounded by Grant Halliday. He's now 3 for 6 from the line. He's taken all of the Eagles' free throws. Minute and change left in the first half. Rice hounded by Potter. Give and go between him and Levesque, and now to Wilson. Wilson taking this himself, rejected, but there's going to be a blocking foul. Whistle will go against Ethan Martin. His first. Wilson to the free throw line, trying to extend the game-high 17-point lead the Vikings hold at the moment.
An 87% free throw shooter is Wilson this season.
Wilson and Grant Halliday, a couple players who have gone to the line a lot and have been excellent from the free throw stripe, both in the high 80s in free throw percentage. This is the Vikings team that altogether was really good from the charity stripe last season. Of course, you had Tijon Sane nearly breaking the record for free throw percentage in a season as a Viking. Hopefully we see Sane return to action as soon as possible.
Yeah,
Wilson hits that one.
You would hope that he's back by the time we're on the road against Northwest Nazarene and Central for some conference games, but if not, maybe back at the start of January where we really begin the GNAC schedule.
Yep. Such an important player on this team, and all GNAC preseason selection alongside Will Wilson. Both players who were selected last year, with Tijon Sane being the GNAC Freshman of the Year. Long drive and put in by Potter. His first bucket of the night, breaks an 0 for 6 start. 38 seconds, Viking trying to get a quick possession here to get another possession. And White does so, getting fouled. Vikings get the 2 for 1.
White has been good off the bench. He's got double digits, 5 rebounds as well for him. He'll head to the free throw line for the second time tonight. He was 2 for 2 in his earlier trip.
Yeah, I really liked what Trevor White has provided for Western Washington off the bench this season. Player who can score on the inside. We've seen him in a game pick up 5 or 6 dunks he had in a game, as well as being able to shoot the 3. He's 50% from the field and 37% from 3. Is a good quick bench scoring option. A player who averaged 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 blocks in high school. As Charlie Dedeker is going to check in. This is his first appearance of 2024-25.
Yeah, had a back injury in the preseason that kept him out. So good to see that he's back and healthy, going to play.
6'5", junior forward out of Issaquah, Washington. 30-second timeout called by Northwest, so a quick break here. 49-30 Vikings, a 19-point lead for the hosts. They're going to get one more possession, it looks like, with at least around 5 seconds on the clock, at the very least, after Northwest has their possession.
Vikings have shot the ball well in this first half, back to what we were used to seeing, which made them 4-0 to start this season. They're shooting 54% as a team. They struggled on Thursday to find the bottom of the net, but tonight it's looking good. They've seen the ball go through the hoop, and everyone seems confident out there on the floor. Vikings have been playing well on offense.
That spread out offense the Vikings have had this year has been really good to see. It was a team last year, of course, was one of the top scoring teams in the nation. A lot of that fell on Kai Johnson and Will Wilson, night in and night out, players averaging close to 20 points a game. But this year, you're seeing 4 players in double-digit scoring every night, and a lot of players coming off the bench who can make that scoring impact if needed. It's a team with a lot of offensive threats and an ability to spread out that offense, as Northwest is going to try to take down as many seconds as they can off the clock, give the Vikings as short a possession as possible. It's controlled here by Ethan Martin, working around a screen, passed it off to Trent Williams, driving in with 4 on the shot clock. Mid-range pull-up is too strong, rebounded by Dedeker, pulled down and given to Rice. They're going to have to heave it from deep here. Rice fading away. Oh, wow, he almost put that one in. 49-30 will be the halftime score. We're going to get a word with Vikings assistant coach A.J. Albritton in a second here with Zen Hill, and then we will have our halftime break.
Yeah, this side, yeah. We go on this side.
Okay, all right. Down here on the floor with assistant coach A.J. Albritton. You guys are up 49-30 at the half. How you feeling about your squad?
Oh, good. We came out with good energy, good effort. We struggled on the boards early. I think a lot of that just was their shots, hitting everywhere on the rim. But we decided to rebound and be ready to go this game. So it's been doing wonders for us, and that's why that lead is what it is.
Pretty balanced offensive attack in that first half. Who stood out to you in that first half?
All of them, really, just attacking the rim. We tell our guys, attack the rim. We have guys that can go downhill. So when we all attack the rim and do it at a pretty good pace, everyone kind of gets going. So I think on the stat sheet, everyone's kind of involved there, and so hopefully we keep that going in the second half.
You guys are back to shooting well over 54% in that first half. What does that mean to this team being able to shoot the ball so well?
Well, that's going back to what I kind of was saying, the rim of shots and taking good shots, and we have guys that can take good shots, and I track shots throughout the game, and we only have one bad shot, and so when we only have one bad shot, then we get going offensively, and field goal will be really good. So.
All right, best of luck in the second half. Thank you, AJ.
Thanks.
Vikings look to continue their 19-point lead when we come back on Vikings TV.
The only way that we get better as athletes, the only way is we fail. So I ask that you guys get outside of your comfort zone, try something. 1, 2, 3.
And we want to get the halftime game started. Let's welcome to the court the Little Eagles. Before a halftime scrimmage, we've got Braylon Matthias, Jasmine Tom, Trajan Joseph, Julius Wilson, Yaya James, Easton Jamison, Briley James, Traden Roberts, Amari Toby, and Drew Tauby. Let's tip it off and let's play 7 minutes of basketball.
Welcome back to Vikings TV. Vikings men basketball taking on Northwest here. First 20 minutes, 49-30 advantage, Western Washington. I'm Adam Race alongside Zen Hill on the call for you tonight from Carver Gymnasium. Zen, take us through the stats of that first half.
Yeah, Vikings shooting it well. That is, of course, the story that we brought into halftime. 54.5% as a team to just 41% from the Eagles. Vikings also from the three-ball range shooting 33%. Each side with 3 made threes. Western Washington holding a 1-point rebound advantage. Vikings offensive rebounds are also tied with the Eagles. Pretty even there. Western Washington 4 steals to 2. Also have 5 blocks to 2. So Vikings defense has been coming up big, and they've also been forcing those turnovers. We see 10 by the Eagles. Vikings have limited themselves to 4. Western Washington tonight being led off the bench by Trevor White's 12 points. And right behind him, Aiden Rice. So some unexpected heroes for the Vikings have stepped it up tonight. Northwest being led 8 points off the bench from Ethan Martin, who we saw come in and make a couple of 3-pointers. So both teams a new 20 minutes to go. We'll see what happens between these two squads. Western Washington 19-point lead probably has them feeling good.
We saw at halftime in the talk you had with A.J. Albritton about the rebounding early on in the game. It was an advantage for Northwest. They were using size in the paint. Players like Aubrey Thomas picking up a lot of offensive board, extending possessions, and getting a lot of points that the Vikings really didn't want to give up. But the Vikings have come all the way back on that rebounding chart. They lead the rebounding battle 17-15 now, even on offensive boards, and the Vikings with 2 more defensive rebounds than the Eagles. So getting that together was a big part of them being able to go on the run that has them up to this 19-point lead. It was a game that was pretty close for a lot of that first half, but Vikings looking to pull away here. You've got 4 players who are approaching double-digit scoring for Western Washington yet again. Aiden Rice already has a career-high 10 points. Trevor White, 12 points. His season high is 16. So Trevor White and Aiden Rice, a couple of true freshmen balling out here against NAIA Northwest University. Some unexpected heroes here tonight, as you said. Excited to see what we have in store for the next 20 minutes here as Lewis Grant Halliday inbounds to Aiden Rice, and we are underway. Passed off to Will Wilson. Wilson hasn't shot the ball a whole lot tonight. Passed it down to Dejan Lott. Lott working on Aubrey Thomas. Aubrey Thomas got a hand in there, swatted that one away. Lott is now 3 of 7 from the field. He's been a little off on the jumper and denied there in the paint by the big defensive presence of Aubrey Thomas. Has been the blocks leader for the Northwest Eagles this season, as well as their rebounding leader. Corner 3 for the Eagles is way long. Air ball rebounded by Will Wilson. Wilson running the floor, deflected pass, tried to find Grant Halliday in the corner for a quick 3, but the Vikings will have to reset and work from the half court. Rice, another heat check, another time that it's a little too strong. Passing ahead to Wobrock. Wobrock all the way in and one.
Yeah, that's a mistake there by Aiden Rice. Young player giving up the and one after missing the shot, commits the foul, and now a chance for the Eagles to start chipping away at that Western lead. Vikings offense much better in that first half than what we saw in either half on Thursday. Vikings only had 25 points in half number 2 against Westminster. Almost doubled that total just in the first half here against the Eagles.
It's certainly an anomaly for this Vikings team that averaged scoring in the mid to high 80s last year, and overall this season has averaged 80 points per game. But they were able to make up for it with some hard-nosed defense in that game to stay close and fall to only a miraculous half-court buzzer beater, as Aubrey Thomas is going to get fouled again. Dejan Lott coming over the top there and getting nothing but body. Excuse me, other way around there. Aubrey Thomas getting nothing but the top of the head of Dejan Lott. And Lott will go back to the free throw line. His 3rd trip of the night. He's 3 for 4. Had some free throw struggles this season coming into this game. Looking to correct those. He's off the mark there, flat and a little long.
He's another instance of Western Washington recruiting a highly scouted and highly performing JUCO player. We saw Will Wilson was it last season. Money Lott this season. He was the MVP of his conference for Sacramento City College last year.
Player who averaged a double-double.
0 for 2, though, at the free throw line.
Misses them both. Gets the block on the other end, though. That's the defensive presence he can bring. Big shoes to fill with B.J. Colley going D1 after last season. And this time a foul is going to be committed. We'll see if it goes against Lott or Grant Halliday, who came in from behind. It will be against Money Lott. That'll be his 2nd personal foul. Once again, unable to contain Aubrey Thomas without fouling.
Well, it started off with his 3rd block of the game, but can't get it that time.
We're going to go to our first media timeout of the second half here, 49-33. Slow start. We'll be right back here on Vikings TV.
Original, never compromise. Nobody can mess with my copyright. Make it look easy, I don't have to try that. Go and get it. Go and get it.
I would summarize my experience at Western as I was a guarded, nerdy kid who loved to perform, who allowed herself to put in the time and the effort to carve herself into something.
Jump in the trunk, jump in the trunk,
And whatever that was has led me to where I am right now, to be a fully realized woman. And I'm really thankful for the time and the effort that I put in for myself, because if I didn't do it, no one else was going to.
Back here in Carver Gymnasium, Vikings up 49-33. Fans enjoying it. High energy night. We saw some of the best halftime entertainment I've seen in a while here at Carver Gymnasium. Had some kids out to play some 5-on-5 on the full court, and man, was that impressive. I mean, they had a deep bag of moves. It was more than I've got.
Yeah, whatever they're feeding these 5th graders, I don't know anymore, because
it's crazy.
I don't even know if I could handle myself out there with the people that were competing at halftime.
Jab step, tween, behind the back, pull-up jumpers, like 2nd graders. It's ridiculous. Aubrey Thomas off the mark on the first.
Northwest University, this is a season still trying to figure out what they have. Have a whole lot of new players brought in. 3 new freshmen from overseas, also brought in 7 transfers. They lost their 2 top scoring players from last season. Luke Howard, one of them, who's with Simon Frazier. We'll see him later this season.
As Aubrey Thomas's struggles from the free throw line continue, he's now 3 for 8 tonight and is down to around 35% on the season. Dejan Lott wide open for 3, can't cash it in. His 2nd 3-point attempt of the night. Northwest, a school coming off a disappointing 8-21 record last year. Last time they were in double-digit wins was 21-22, in which they had 10. Aubrey Thomas can't get the reverse to go, picks up his own offensive board and puts the putback in. Trevor White getting set to come back on for the Vikings. Went into halftime as their leading scorer and still stands as their leading scorer. Vikings have yet to put up points in the 2nd period of play through 2.5 minutes. Good fake by Grant Kepley. Got Aubrey Thomas off his feet. He was lost, and Kepley laid it in.
That was just smooth from the Seaholm High School Grant Kepley.
Really good to see Kepley, who hasn't been scoring a whole lot tonight. That's just his 2nd bucket of the night, but a pretty one. Floater there from Wobrock won't go, rolls off the rim, rebounded by Kepley. He's only played 10 minutes tonight. That is not something you're going to see very often this season. He is playing 35 plus a game so far in Division II matchups, as Aiden Rice does just enough to keep it with the Vikings. He's had some turnover problems this season. Avoids one there, swung into the corner to Rice. 8 on the shot clock. Pulling up is Grant Halliday. That was an ill-advised shot with 5 left on the shot clock. He leaves it short. Northwest coming down the other way with Trent Williams. Williams 4 points in this game. They pass it off to Wobrock and down. Back to that big man battle. Slips a pass beyond Grant Kepley. The finish isn't there from Wobrock, though. It was a good find by Aubrey Thomas. Grant Halliday the other way. Tried to put Aubrey Thomas on a poster and couldn't hold on.
Just short of the highlight reel. That's been the story for each side tonight, trying to get some posters. Aubrey Thomas tried to embarrass a Viking twice in the first half, couldn't convert, and now Lewis Grant Halliday himself can't get it.
6'8" frame of Aubrey Thomas. Not an easy player to try to get that dunk over, but Grant Halliday going for the gusto. You know he has the ups to do that. Vikings will inbound it here. 20 on the shot clock. Grant Halliday back with it, backing down Potter. Loses the dribble and gets it off to Wilson. Wilson slips through his hands, recovered by Grant Halliday, as that's going to be an offensive foul. Going down to draw it was Trent Williams. So a frustrating couple of plays for Grant Halliday. Misses on the poster and commits the offensive foul and the turnover. 5th of the night for the Vikings. 3 of those turnovers have been against Grant Halliday.
There's a good call there. Nice job by Trent Williams to get outside of the restricted area, set his feet before the offense got there to him.
Vikings just 2 points here in this second half. Northwest with 5. Cutting this lead down a little bit. Backing down in the paint is Micah Hagan and getting it to go. That is just pure strength right there. Bullying his way in. Grant Halliday. Trouble in the backcourt. Just able to get it to Levesque. Pulls up for 3. Trevor White won't go. Potter brings down the rebound. Vikings still can't get off the mark in any real way here in the second half. Just 2 points through 4 minutes now. They get it back to Hagan. Once again uses the size on Trevor White. This time kicks it out. Potter left wide open for 3, and he finally gets one to go. Potter's 4th three-point attempt of the night is good. That's a shot we know he can make. And the Vikings right there dared him to take it.
Yeah, only his second shot made of the game. He's been great on the other sides of the floor, picking up rebounds, has a couple assists, but finally getting a jump shot to fall. Maybe that's more to come for him.
Three-pointer on the other side, trying to respond is Grant Halliday. Can't do it there. Picking up the rebound was Hagan. He was fouled. As that will lead us to our second media timeout. The lead has shrunk down to 11 here. We'll be right back on Vikings TV, 40-51 Western.
Original, never compromise. Nobody can mess with my copyright. Make it look easy, I don't have to try that. Go and get it. Go and get it.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Northwest putting together a little run here, clawing their way back into this one. The lead is down to 11. You see there Rasheed Potter pulling up from 3. Came into this game shooting just under 50% from long distance through the first 3 games of the season for Northwest. As a player who leads the team in minutes, has had his turnover troubles, but in this game he's produced on the boards, as we said, and got a couple of assists and hitting his first tray of the game, his second jump shot of the game. He started off 0 for 6, but he's finding his stride here as the contest goes on. Northwest now on a 5-0 run. Vikings are scoreless last 2.5 minutes.
Potter gave himself the nickname Limitless. A couple steps behind the three-point line, pulling up from limitless range.
Vikings quick inbound in there to Levesque, gets it to go. Good cut, good finish.
That's well executed out of the break. Nicely drawn up by Tony Dominguez and a good finish by Levesque.
Levesque now 4 points on the night. That one's deflected by Trevor White. He picks up steal. Running the transition is Grant Halliday. 3 black shirts around him. A lot of contact. He will go to the line. A smile on the face of Rasheed Potter. He knew exactly what he was doing there. No easy buckets for Levesque in transition, for Grant Halliday, excuse me.
I think he might have even wanted maybe a jump ball on that. But instead, Vikings are going to end up with free throws. How about Trevor White, forced in a turnover off the bench? He's been great. Tony Dominguez opting to give him some extra minutes over Money Lott in this matchup. White has been able to handle the physicality of Northwest inside and also has been good on defense and scoring the ball.
He has been a really good option as a freshman out of Attleboro, Massachusetts, Tabor Academy graduate, as Grant Halliday gets the first free throw. That's something he's done so well this year. Leads the Vikings in free throw percentage, nearing 90% at around 88. Extends the lead up to 14, trying to make it 15. And he does. Trevor White, a player who shot 60% from the field in high school, bringing that efficiency to the D2 level. Doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah, averaged 17 points while doing that field goal percentage.
Magoe Fick, guarded by Levesque, gets it off to Potter. He's hit a couple of shots here. Passes this one off to Wilson, though. 7 on the shot clock. Wilson, 5 to shoot, steps back, doesn't have an option, rejected by White. Ahead to Kepley, lays it in.
And there's Trevor White at the middle of another turnover and getting buckets for Western Washington. Trevor White off the bench, phenomenal tonight.
How about Trevor White doing a little bit of defense, a little bit of offense there, as there's going to be a 30-second timeout. So we will stay right here for it. And Trevor White, he caused the turnover on the previous possession with quick hands, getting up and deflecting a pass, and that time just catching Dominic Wilson in a tough spot. No seconds on the shot clock, and he didn't have his dribble either, and White was all over it, swatted it and took it away, ran the transition, gave it to Kepley in stride, laid it in. Very well ran by a couple of freshmen.
White now has 2 blocks in the game and 1 steal as well on defense, 6 rebounds, 12 points for the freshman. Grant Kepley, that's his 6th point, 3 for 4 shooting. The efficiency of Kepley has continued throughout this week.
You had a lot of players on this team who might be somewhat untested at this level, but we've seen immediately that they're willing to play as a team, play off of each other's strengths. And these are players who had experience as leaders at the high school level. Grant Kepley, of course, a leader on that Seaholm team that was one of the most effective in the state. A good fake, gets a defender in the air, and it's a good take by Nash Wobrock. So Northwest battle back. White there, loses it off his foot, sliding to avoid the backcourt call. He can't. He just got over that halfway line before he was able to pass it off to Kepley.
Yeah, a little bit too much praise for Trevor White. The jinx was bound to happen. Turnover there gets him.
That's our power right there. Lead still at 15 for Western Washington. They've led by as much as 19. That was the halftime lead. Long lead pass finds Potter, just able, and excuse me, he does step out. Back foot went out of bounds as he tried to pass it off to Wobrock. So a bad giveaway on one end and a bad giveaway right back on the other.
And if you're Rick Skeen, that's something you have to clean up, taking away from this matchup. You've had too many passes that aren't on line, just unnecessary turnovers that the Eagles can avoid.
Levesque, good find. And getting fouled is Trevor White. Frustrated he wasn't able to put that one in off of not too much contact. Levesque did well to go up and bat that ball in the air, come down with it. A little over the head pass to Trevor White. Deserving of an assist, but White will go to the line to shoot 2. He's 4 for 4 from the free throw stripe tonight, his 3rd trip. It's the first, he's 5 for 5.
White is part of a very large recruiting class that Western Washington brought in. Of course, you lose 9 players from last season's roster. Western Washington brings in 10 new players this season as freshmen, as well as some transfers mixed in there as well. White just one of 2 freshmen, though, that are actually playing in their first season in collegiate basketball.
White, an exciting one, a player that we knew coming in was going to be a part of this team. Aiden Rice has been a little bit more of a surprise early on here for this coaching staff, but White, a player immediately in the plans. A star, a standout in Massachusetts high school level. Player who had 2 blocks a game, first team all-conference selection at Tabor Academy. The reverse layup there is a little bit short by McGowie Fick, rebounded by Aubrey Thomas, and he gets his reverse to go.
And Aubrey Thomas began playing collegiate basketball in 2019 for Allen Hancock College. Spent time at Cal Poly Pomona, a couple seasons away from the game. He's back here with Northwest University.
An experienced player who leads the Eagles in scoring right now. Kepley misses on a floater. Rebound battled for and taken down by the size of Aubrey Thomas. Muscles his way to get to that one. He's got 11 points now and 7 rebounds on his way to a possible double-double. Another giveaway, this time taken by Grant Halliday. Coast to coast, he's fouled.
Vikings are going to get some more free throws here. Oh, Grant Halliday showing off the handle, crisscrossing his way to get an open lane and force the foul on the defense.
Can't quite finish at the hoop. A little collision there with the cameraman. It's a dangerous profession, especially when Grant Halliday is sprinting the full length of the floor. He misses the free throw, his first free throw miss of the night. Vikings as a team have gone 14 for 19 from the line tonight.
And overall for Grant Halliday, a nice performance. Had 10 points on Thursday. Tonight already above that with his 11 that he has with just over 12 and a half minutes left.
Coming off a player of the week selection in the GNAC. Gets the second to go. Will Wilson was replaced by Aiden Rice during that free throw break, so the true freshman back onto the floor. Aubrey Thomas guarded by White. Hands it off this time to McGowie Fick, guarded by Rice. Down low, Aubrey Thomas looking for help. Leans in, puts a post move on Trevor White. Too strong on the lay-in attempt, though. Rebounded by Levesque. Pass is too strong. Kept in by the speed of Aiden Rice. Open three for Trevor White. Yes!
White continues to have the impact off the bench. 17 points now for the freshman.
He's 5 of 9 from the field. That's his first 3-ball. He also leads the Vikings in rebounds. Aubrey Thomas, he gets fouled. He'll go to the line yet again. That is, by my count, his 5th time being fouled in a shot.
He's a free throw merchant.
That's unfortunate for a player who's shooting around 40% on the season from the charity stripe. As that will be a media timeout here with the Vikings leading 60-47 when we return.
Original, never compromise. Nobody can mess with my copyright. Make it look easy, you don't have to try that. Go and get it. Go and get it.
Welcome back into Carver Gym. Let's take a look around the GNAC. Every single school in action tonight in the Great Northwest Athletic Conference. Alaska Anchorage had a dominant victory over Portland Bible College by a score of 93-30. Ridiculous. Western Oregon facing off against a Pac-West School and Academy of Art, picking up a 90-83 victory there. Westminster, who defeated Western Washington, traveled up to Simon Fraser. The Red Leafs went to double overtime in Burnaby and picked up a 99-94 win. What a productive road trip, though, for Westminster heading back to Utah. Central Washington narrowly beat Westmont College 74-72 out in Idaho. Montana State Billings a 65-53 win over South Dakota Mines. NNU picking up a 70-58 win against Jessup University, and SBU beating Linfield University 81-62.
An eventful night around the GNAC, and GNAC teams doing well. Of course, you always want the conference opponents to do well in preseason, get that RPI up. Vikings, who are looking to return to NCAA postseason play for the first time since they won the conference tournament right before COVID hit, and actually didn't get to return to NCAA tournament play officially. Would have been a bid for them, though. Passing ahead off of the free throws from Aubrey Thomas. He hits 2 for the second time tonight. He's now 5 for 10 from the line. White's got the hot hand. He's got 17 points. That's a new career high. He wants more, and he's got it. 19 now for the freshman.
He just continues to eat, making a case maybe for that starting spot in a Vikings team that's still trying to figure out who our go-to 5 guys are.
It's a lot of depth on this team, a lot of different players who can step up, and White, certainly on the offensive end, has established himself. He's also having a great game on the other end. 6 boards, 2 steals, 2 blocks.
Northwest upset about the out-of-bounds call that went to the favor of Western Washington off the rebound tip.
Vikings have this lead back up to 19 points, ties the halftime lead that was the previous high. Kepley passes it around the horn. Aiden Rice, long pass back to Kepley. Kicks it out to Grant Halliday, trying to find space for a 3. They finally do off some good distribution. A little too strong on it. Levesque going up for the rebound, and it will pay off with the Vikings picking up the out-of-bounds rebound.
So far, the margin tied 26-26 between these two teams on the glass.
It's a team in Northwest that likes to work through the size of Aubrey Thomas is getting rejected there as Levesque. How about that swat by Potter? Levesque diving to the ground, though, to win it back. Vikings off of some high-energy basketball get it to Grant Kepley at the free throw line, passed it down to Grant Halliday. Now they will slow things down. Levesque wanted a poster, and Potter rose up to send that one back. Aubrey Thomas the other way, corner for Wobrock, and now back to Potter. They'll slow it down. Corner 3, rattles out, rebounded by Kepley. 3rd board of the night for the redshirt freshman, bringing it all the way himself and laying it in.
Just floating through the air. Why not? Jordan-esque with the reverse layup.
Coast to coast, Kepley right there. Spin move on the other side by Williams, off the mark. Keeps it in bounds and throws it off of Trevor White. Very well done there by Williams to retain possession. A couple changes on both ends for the Vikings. Levesque will come out. Jordan Tate will come in, still seeking his first bucket of the season. And the big man change for Northwest, as coming into the game, will be Manuel Crujeras out of Orense, Spain.
Haven't seen a whole lot of him tonight. He's played just 2 minutes up to this point.
Corner 3 is long there from Philip Magoza. And out of bounds, Vikings ball. 10 minutes left in the game here. Comfortable lead for Western Washington. Getting some bench players minutes in Jordan Tate. This will be the most minutes he's played this season. He's currently at 6, which ties his season high. A whistle there on the baseline. It looks like a wet spot on the floor the officials wanted dealt with before someone possibly hurt themselves on it. Charlie Dedeker, team leader, out there mopping up. Dedeker, the GNAC All-Academic selection last year for the Vikings. Kepley passed it into Aiden Rice. Back to Kepley. Pull-up 3. Yes! Grant Kepley from three-point range this year has just been a revelation. He's shooting over 60% from distance. He continues here tonight.
What a start to his hopefully long Vikings career, averaging over 15 and a half.
As Lott rejects Potter. Potter had a big swat on the defensive end, and that time he gets put back. And Kepley is going to get fouled. Dejan Lott took a shot up to the face. He is shaken up. Looks like he got poked in the eye as Potter went up to try to put him on a poster. He'll take a break for now. Try to collect himself. We saw Garrett Levesque take a shot to the eye last game on Thursday, as there's a good find there by White. Kepley will go to the line.
So Lott picks up his 4th block, but at what cost?
4 blocks for money Lott. I mean, that is the one thing that we can really rely on for Lott this season so far. He's trying to find his consistency in the scoring margins, but defensively he has provided a lot of an interior presence. The Vikings are trying to make up for the loss of one of the best interior defenders in the conference in BJ Colley, and Lott has stepped into that role. Swiping in from behind is Aiden Rice, getting the ball loose, as that will be a jump ball. Possession arrow still with Northwest, but a good move there by Aiden Rice. Vikings on a 9-0 run right now.
And not only did you lose that interior presence of BJ Colley, you lost the big man Nick Velt going to Cal State San Bernardino. Isaac Moreau, another man off the bench that could play big. Liam Clark transferring as well. A lot of holes to fill for this Western team. We've seen the roles filled in some ways, still needing more though.
And it's been a good start for this fresh Vikings team as Wobrock pulls up for 3 and hits his first long ball of the night.
Cool story with Nash Wobrock. Started his career at Fresno City College, goes down with a season-ending injury. Is the only team that takes a chance on him is Northwest U, and now he's here.
Grant Halliday closed out by Wobrock, gets it to White, and he stepped out of bounds. And I've always wondered if the lines at Carver Gym are painted just a little bit thinner than other courts, because it looks like we get a lot more of those than you'd expect on just a little quick step out there in the corner.
Plenty of them, or it's just the size of these players trying to drive to the basket when they get that back foot there. Seen it too many times here at Carver Gym, out of bounds in the corner.
Wobrock passes it in. Guerreras trying to back down his defender, Trevor White. Trevor White stands strong, though, gets it back to Wobrock, kisses it off the glass and in. Back-to-back buckets for the senior. He's 5 of 8 on the night, 12 points now. Long lead pass to Grant Halliday and lays it in. That is a pretty pass from Kepley.
Beautiful find.
Kepley hasn't been all that involved tonight, but he still has 13 points and a few highlight reel plays. Just shows the impact he has on this team. Speaking of impact, Will Wilson getting set to come back in for the Vikings. As we're going to go to a media timeout here with the Vikings leading 74-51 when we return on Vikings TV. .54-51 is the scoreline here. WECU Court in Carver Gymnasium. Vikings playing their 6th game of the 2024-25 season, a season that started off as good as you could hope for. A buzzer beater win against a nationally ranked Cal State Dominguez Hills team. A 4-0 start, the first for the Vikings since the 2016-17 season. And unfortunately, that run stopped by a half-court buzzer beater against Westminster. A play that, as a Vikings fan, you don't like to see, but you do like to see the call by Zen Hill on Vikings TV. Little Mike Breen, bang on the call.
This is a little bit too much favoritism towards the visitors than I would have liked, but this is just an honest reaction. I couldn't believe what I saw.
It was incredible. Back underway here. Northwest trying to break up a scoring run for the Vikings that has them up into a 20-plus point lead. They've led by as much as 26 in this game. Stands now at 23. That one poked away by Will Wilson and collected by Martin. Pulls up from the parking lot.
It was almost an awesome pass. Shot clock expired, though, for him.
And he put it up, and it was a putback by Potter, but not before the buzzer went, as Martin was forced to pull up from the logo there. Seen a couple times Martin, or the Eagles, work themselves into trouble at the end of the shot clock, have to take difficult three-pointers, and that time gives away possession. Corner for Jordan Tate. And out the free throw line. Pulling up from the elbow is Wilson. Can't get that one to go. That's a mid-range shot that he was so good with last year and has been this season as well. That time, though, just a bit off the mark. Wilson just 5 points tonight. They've tried to run the offense through some of these freshmen more so tonight, give them more experience against an NAIA opponent. Drive and kick. Deflected pass by Grant Halliday. Potter from distance. Too strong. Rebounded by Trevor White. White now 7 rebounds on the game. Leads the Vikings. And, of course, those 19 points, a career high. I'm sure we'll be getting a word with him after this game. Kepley passes it off to Grant Halliday. Just outside the three-point arc. Gets it to go, his second of the night. He's up to 17 points.
Yeah, he's one of 4 Vikings in double-digit scoring tonight. Kepley, Rice, Grant Halliday, and White all in double figures.
That's not even the 4 the Vikings are averaging in double figures. Will Wilson also usually in that group as there's another steal for Grant Halliday. Hands it off to White in transition. Layup is good. Northwest is scoreless in the last 2 minutes. Vikings have gone on a 7-0 run in that time. Pedal to the metal right now for the hosts. Trying to make up for a frustrating loss on Thursday. As a good reverse there by Manuel Crujeras. Gets his first bucket of the night.
Crujeras was born in Spain, prepped in his high school career in Charlotte. Actually trained in Europe with the same training camp that produced NBA star Domantas Sabonis.
One of a couple Spaniards on this Northwest team alongside another Manuel as Grant Halliday with a heat check. And he can't miss right now. He's up to 20 points.
2 Vikings with 20 points. How about that?
Everything working right now offensively after a slow start. White and Grant Halliday have done the bulk of the scoring. They've got 41 of the Vikings' 82 points. Crujeras trying to get back-to-back buckets, picks up his own offensive board and gets it to go. So I was saying the only Spaniard alongside Manuel Zapater out of Zaragoza, Spain.
It's part of a recruiting class that brought in 3 freshmen from overseas, also 1 transfer that is also from overseas.
Tate in the corner. Tried to get it to White. Pass was beyond him. Miscue between Tate and White. As we're going to see a couple of changes here for the Vikings. Charlie Dedeker will come back in. Aiden Rice will come back in. Wilson just came on. He'll go back to the bench as well as Trevor White. Rice, who's already working on a career-high 10 points so far tonight. Went on a nice scoring run in that first half to bring him up to 10 points. He's 4 of 8 from the field. Also leads the Vikings with 6 assists. Williams. Pass it off here to Wilson. Guarded by Charlie Dedeker. Wilson drives in left, taking it all the way in, and that's going to be a blocking foul. Dedeker had the shot smothered, but Rice in the restricted area making contact there. Wilson will go and shoot at the free throw line. It's the 7th team foul against the Vikings.
Free throw struggles have continued into this matchup for the Eagles. Came in, as I mentioned, as a team around 40%. A little bit better than that, but still just sitting barely over 50 as a squad.
That's really tough for a team that picks up a lot of fouls and also gets fouled a decent amount of time. To be shooting around 50% from the line is just a killer. Eagles 15 personal fouls tonight. Vikings with 12. This is a Northwest team that committed 33 team fouls against Seattle University in their last game. Grant Halliday, he's working on 20 points, nearing his career high. Pass it off to Rice now from Kepley. Grant Halliday down low to Jordan Tate as he gets his first bucket of 24-25. Jordan Tate, a player who on a few moments last season showed some real scoring prowess when he was given real minutes due to a brief injury crisis.
Averaged 17 points in high school, so he has the ability. Just hasn't seen necessarily the minutes.
Redshirt sophomore out of Kirkland, Washington, is committing the foul there is Aiden Rice, trying to get another block. He already has one tonight. It'll end up as his 3rd personal foul. As that will lead us to another media timeout with the Vikings up 84-57. We'll return for the last 4 minutes of action on Viking TV.
Original, never compromise. Nobody can mess with my copyright. Make it look easy, I don't have to try that. Go and get it. Go and get it.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
4 minutes remaining here. Carver Gymnasium. Vikings just trying to dot the I's here. Close out a win against an NAIA program. Vikings haven't had too many early season gimme matches. You had, of course, that Trinity Western game that they played in preseason that actually was an extremely close game. Went to overtime. Vikings pulling out the win against a quality Trinity Western team from up north of the border. And now against the Northwest Eagles, they have gotten the job done, offensively and defensively solid.
Yeah. If you're Western Washington, this is a game that you can feel good about. You bounce back from the loss on Thursday. You're shooting well as a team. You had some guys step up that you're not used to seeing. It's a game you felt like you should win, and they're very well on their way to doing so, and hopefully it carries over into the matchup against Douglas College, another one of those games where you feel like Western should win, and they just have to execute.
Douglas, a team the Vikings have seen a decent amount of times over the last few years. A lot of lopsided score lines in those matchups, as Rice is given an acre of space to shoot the 3 and 1. Aiden Rice extends his career high to 13, chance for a 4-point play.
If we talk about the buzzer beater, you could have said that the buzzer beater was an and 1 also. Very similar there, having to grab the point after and maybe have a 4-point play here from the freshman. He's got 13.
Aiden Rice stepping up. 13, possibly 14, couple steals, a block, and 6 assists. That will be 14 points for Rice. He's 5 of 9 from the field tonight, 2 of 5 from 3. I mean, for a walk-on player stepping up because of an injury to your star point guard, not much more you can ask for. They get it down low there. That's rejected by Charlie Dedeker. Aubrey Thomas couldn't get up and get the shot off the glass before Dedeker swept in.
For Rice, that's also now a career high for him in just his short time beginning his career here with Western Washington. Will likely top that in the future.
Passed in, deflected by Dedeker. Couldn't pick up the steal, though. Fighting for it was Martin. Martin now pass it off to Potter. 10 on the shot clock, finding space to shoot the 3 here and off the mark, but rebounded again by Trent Williams, and he gets his own rebound to go on the putback. Northwest applying some pressure right now defensively in the full court. Kepley, floater, rolls it in. Another pretty bucket.
Soft touch by Grant Kepley, who's now got 15 points after a slow start. He's now finished strong compared to what happened on Thursday.
He is 6 of 8 from the field today. He has been very efficient. Wilson into the corner. Williams looking for back-to-back buckets. That one won't go. Rebounded by Jordan Tate. Ahead to Kepley. Vikings at 90, perhaps looking for their first triple-digit game of the season. Grant Halliday helping that cause with yet another 3-pointer. His 4th of the night, 23 points.
Offense is on fire for Western Washington in the second half. 6 3-pointers made on 50% shooting. They've got 12 made in the game, or excuse me, 9 made in the game.
That one was deflected out by Jordan Tate, and that ties a career high in scoring for Louis Grant Halliday. He transferred from Seattle University, just given a lot of space right there. No one closing out, makes him pay. He's taken 12 shots tonight. He's played a team-high 34 minutes, and he has been very good on both ends of the floor.
4 threes made is the most this season for him.
Magusa got fouled as he went up. He'll shoot 2. As Aiden Rice now has 4 personal fouls. Vikings coaching staff looks like they're going to let him play this one out with just 2 minutes left in a blowout. Current 32-point lead is the largest of the night for the Vikings. Magosa cuts into that, hitting the first free throw. Vikings have made 10 of their last 11 shots, 6 of their last 7 3-pointers. They are red hot.
Very good offensive second half.
Second one off the mark, and Grant Halliday pulls down his 4th rebound of the night. 2-minute warning here on the WECU Court. Grant Kepley brings it up, guarded by Shayna Matamano on the court for the first time tonight. Rice to Dedeker. Dedeker still in search of his first bucket of this season. Surely the Vikings are going to try to find him. They get Tate here on a 3-point attempt. Rims out. Magosa steps it back at the free throw line, hands it off. Amano back to Magoza. Magoza lost the dribble, had to pass it back to Matt Amano, the junior out of Mililani, Hawaii. A place fans of Viking softball will be familiar of. A couple of Viking softball players out of Mililani.
A couple of them even in attendance tonight.
Yes, they are. As that is going to be a foul called against Jordan Tate. Going to the line will be Manuel Crujeras. First trip to the line tonight for Crujeras. Misses the first.
Coming up next for Northwest University, they will be at home against Lewis Clark State College. They're starting their CCC conference games. December 6th and 7th, they'll have back-to-back home games.
Crujeras misses both of the free throws as Grant Kepley takes a shot up to the mouth. We weren't going to go a full 40 minutes without Grant Kepley getting hit in the face. 1 minute left in the game. Passed off to Dedeker for his first of the season. Banks it in. The bank is open Saturday night for Charlie Dedeker. His first bucket of the season.
Every Viking has now scored tonight. He might not have called it, but it still counts.
And Dedeker trying to play the tough defense on Jaron Hansen, the junior out of Seattle, Washington. And he gets picked up for a foul call. And you're right, Zen, he might not have called the bank. It was a shot that maybe flew on him a little bit, but flew just the right amount. They all count the same. Hansen, a transfer from George Fox University, just doesn't get the roll. He's frustrated with that one.
It's almost a year to the date of Charlie Dedeker's last bucket as a Viking, scored against Douglas College last season. Most recent points for him. He's obviously battled injury throughout his career here at Western. Nice to see him getting the three ball.
As Hansen picks up his own rebound off the two missed free throws, and he gets fouled and one. An eventful couple cameo minutes here for Jaron Hansen, the George Fox transfer. And for Viking fans who were watching last season, you'll know that George Fox is a very respectable Division III university, a team that lost to the Vikings narrowly in a shootout in one of the most exciting games I've ever watched here at Carver Gym, full of scrappiness. There was, I believe, 7 technical fouls in that game, both teams in triple digits scoring. That was a show here.
Hansen, one of 2 players that is now playing under Rick Skeen at the college level after playing for him on his high school team. Kings High School won a 1A state championship in 2020. Hansen was part of that squad, as well as McGahee Fick under Skeen's guidance.
Vikings dribbling this one out. 7 on the shot clock. We'll see if Grant Halliday pulls up or lets the shot clock roll out. It looks like the coaches are telling him to take the team turnover on the shot clock violation. So we'll just have 6 more seconds here before the Vikings close it out. Unable to reach that triple digit for the first time this season, but we will have word between Zen Hill and Trevor White. Here in post-game, Western Washington, an impressive victory here. They pick up the win, 96-65, a game in which everybody got involved. Trevor White, a career high on 21 points, and Louis Grant Halliday, 23 points, 14 for Aiden Rice, a career high, and Grant Kepley with 15 on 6 assists. Aubrey Thomas, the leading scorer for the Eagles at 13 points. Vikings shot over 50% as a team, 41% from 3, and did just about everything right down the stretch after a slow start. That is a quality win picked up by the Vikings. They'll be back in action on Tuesday against Douglas College as we wait here for word. Trevor White interviewing with Zen Hill in a second here, post-game.
Down here on the floor with Western Washington player of the game, Trevor White, 21 points, career high for you. What was going well for you out there, man?
Honestly, I think this was my first time really being prepared for the game. Like, I locked in, I just knew what we had to do. Bounced back from the loss. You know, we got a team full of great guys, and the energy just contributes to everything I do on the court. So,
you guys obviously play with physicality, take the ball to the hoop, but the 3-ball was also falling tonight. How big is that for your offense?
It's always like options off of that. Like, if we drive and kick, it's there. you know, we're going to hit down. We got walk down Herb right there. Yeah, Herb, come here, Herb. How you feeling?
In the nation.
Yeah,
Best freshman.
Yep, there you go. All right, go on. Let's go. That's how we do it.
These non-conference games, a chance for you guys to work things out. Of course, you're a freshman, first time being here at the collegiate level. What are you guys working on in these non-conference games?
Everything. I mean, every game is a great challenge for us. We want to win every game, of course, just to build up to our championship goal at the end of the season. So we're here to do everything. We're going to win it this year. I believe that.
All right. Moving on now against Douglas College. What do you guys have to do to keep the streak going, trying to get back on another winning streak?
Just keep playing hard, keep playing together, and just be a team. Do what we do. That simple.
All right. Thanks, Trevor. Great job tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Vikings pick up a 96-65 win. Western Washington will be back here on Tuesday. You can catch it here on Vikings TV. Have a good night and go Vikings.